You fucking martards. What's going on? This is PWHustle. A-Track Brown. Listen.
You need the professor to comfort you.
Listen. I'm pretty fucking far from okay. Okay. All right. First, a little dirt on my shoulder. Get this fucking dust off my brand new Eagle Fang karate shirt. So you know I'm down with Eagle Fang karate.
That dirt, you got a little Sabin on your shoulders, man.
Don't start right now. At least let me first welcome y'all to the PWHustle. And I'm A-Track Brown, and with me, as always, is the most prolific, the most magnanimous, the most objective, the most scholarly, and the most glorious man in the IWC YWC punditry, Professor Chabelo de la Cruz. What is going on, bro?
What's going on, Track? What's going on to the hustleites out there? You know, Track, I have to, give praises to Track because he texted me that Impact was having a pay-per-view, and I was like, oh, shit, I forgot. Damn, I was the NBA Finals. I was ready for, Suns against Bucks, but then, you know what? I had to flip it. I had to, find a link. Thanks to Track for that, too. So I'm watching this, and for all the Mark Cards and Clark bars out there, I got to tell y'all this Forbidden Door thing that y'all been praising about. This company is just not that. It's just not the company to represent this Forbidden Door shit. It's the wrong company. It's the wrong show for a lot of shit that a lot of people are gonna, pop for. It's just on the wrong night and in the wrong place. Certain things that happen here, Track. I would have loved it on Wednesday nights. I would have loved Jim Ross talking about certain things, certain people that just made appearances. What the hell's going on here? Just got the wrong, Access TV, 69,000 people gonna watch it on Thursdays. Maybe, oh no, I'm sorry, it's gonna be a bump. 79,000, maybe 89,000, okay, maybe 101,000. But you know what? It's just a waste of the Forbidden Door with certain shit that happened that I liked. But you know what? This Forbidden Door for the Impact Wrestling, they need to do this, Track. Let me just say this. They need to do this Forbidden Door. They need all this relationships with all these companies, New Japan, AEW, AAA, NWA, Ring of Honor. Yes, Impact. Open your doors. Fine, I'm with you. But you know what? You're just not that company with the representation, especially in America. I'm not saying worldwide. Hopefully worldwide in Africa, India, it's the #1 show out there. And they all...
That's true.
I got you, Track. I understand that. But here in America, certain shit needed to be on TNT. That's what I'm just trying to say. Should it be on TNT Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock? That's all I'm going to say.
Listen, so we have to go into this fucking pay-per-view. And there wasn't a lot of shit that pissed me off. There was just this one ridiculous thing that pissed me off to the point where even to the end of the show, it pretty much took me out of it. So let's just start off with the pre-show. I know you missed that, so I'm going to just go through it real quick. You had Decay, Rosemary, and Havoc against Fire and Flavor. And Rosemary and Havoc won the Impact Women's Tag Team titles, the Knockouts Tag Team titles, which is fine. I have no objection against that. I still rather see Rosemary as a Impact Women's Champion. She never really had her just due as a Knockouts Champion because of injuries and whatnot. But you know something? They hooked her, they stopped the feud with her and Havoc and made them align themselves. The match was not bad. I'm not going to go all through it because it was just a pre-show match, but the right team won. Not that if...
Track. Let's rewind this back here. A lot of people always hate a certain organization doing pre-show things, Fire and Flavor relegated to the pre-show. What's up with that?
Not only that. I mean, listen, I didn't know it was the pre-show until after the match. Because when the stream I was watching on, it just started, so I didn't even know it was a pre-show. I thought the show just started at 7:30. But yeah, it was kind of like, you didn't really have to do this for a pre-show. Your knockouts and your second biggest show of the year is, into some arguments, some people would say your first biggest shows. A lot of people hold Slammiversary above BFG, which I can understand, but it's whatever. Having them open up was probably not cool, at least because the tag team champions. And yes, it's some WWE shit, quite frankly. It's like, I don't need to see that in the company that I pretty much enjoy watching more than what I see on Monday Night Raw, which we will also get into, by the way, because the world of wrestling, the two companies right now that the one that I watch and the one that I watch reluctantly are pissing me the fuck off royally. So we will get into the actual pay-per-view right now. So a thumbs up for the pre-show tag match. Not a bad match. I don't give a fuck about Havoc's racist ass, but I'm happy for Rosemary. Happy for Decay. Get rid of Black Taurus and just add Man Fulton. That's the only thing I will say. So we go into the show, and we have your Ultimate X match, which had Josh Alexander, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Trey Miguel, and P.D. Williams. And this match was it was good. It was a good opening match, non-pre-show, so a good opening match. There was one spot that I just thought I understood the attempt, and my girls are sitting here watching the shit, and they were entertained by what they saw. 12, 14, so good. They were entertained by what they saw. The spot that they actually liked, that I actually laughed and rolled my eyes at, was when Josh Alexander was on top of the the X division, the Ultimate X shit. He gets Chris Bay in an ankle lock, which Chris Bay has somebody in a crossface. It was a line of submissions from the Ultimate X, which was ridiculous. Okay, it was, and it was because it took a while for them to set that up. And I'm watching, it's like, where are they going here? And it's one of those spots where I'm watching it and I'm like, this is what the professor be talking about. Nah, I can't argue with him on this shit. And I've said that I have been pretty much complacent with these X Division, Cruiserweight, whatever you want to call them, type matches, to the point where I expect to see ridiculous spots. I expect to see spots in general. So it's about which spots are you going to do that's really going to wow me. They had a few spots that wowed me and a few spots that made me go, ooh. And I was like, somebody is going to fucking hurt themselves. Trey Miguel took a couple bad falls in this match, and I'm surprised that nigga did not break his fucking neck or back. Josh Alexander, in my opinion, is one of the best wrestlers right now, pound for pound, in the world. Straight up. And I say that non-biased because I'm not like some big Josh Alexander fan. I wasn't watching Josh Alexander for years. I only started watching him when he was in Impact, when he started teaming with Ethan Page.
Correct.
This guy is fucking great.
Correct. Could you say that Josh Alexander could be the best wrestler in Impact with the wrong title? Because that's gonna
Yes. I will say that right now. And other than the guy who we will get into later, he is one of the best guys on their roster, excluding Kenny Omega, who's their champion, but he's not technically on their roster. So Josh Alexander, to me, is pound for pound, in my opinion, pound for pound, the best wrestler in the world right now. I know a lot of people are going to be like, nigga, you ain't making no sense. Pound for pound, if you understand what that means. You understand? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people out there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But he has
Yeah.
with that pigeonhole title of the X Division. That's the problem.
He's
He was
yeah. They need to recognize, and who the fuck knows with this company, but they need to recognize what they got right now and slowly have a build. If not, I don't know where Josh Alexander goes, because I'm not even going to suggest AEW. They're stacked at this moment. So Q, your thoughts, man?
just say this. There's one criticism that a lot of people within the community always talks about is repetition and certain things that goes on in other shows every week. It's the same match, same rematches, same things. These are the same dudes fighting for the X Division title for the last 9 months in some sort of variation. So if you are if you're happy seeing this as a storyline, as a rivalry, God bless you. But at least be consistent when you talk about repetition. I don't want to, I'm not trying to shit on it. It was a good match, like you said. It had his moments, it was a little clusterfuck here. There, the spot I like was when Bay and Alexander was on the top, and Austin was trying to do the springboard and try to take the title and sneak it, which I thought was going to be a cool way for him to win it. And then they just snatched it up like, hell no, you ain't gonna get this title. And then and Josh won the thing. So I like that part. But again, I'll take away from all that. They do a lot of stuff and all the flippy shit. Like you said, I'm gonna dismiss all that. It was a decent match, but it's the same guys for the last 9 months fighting each other. And the wrong guy, what the hell, man? Trey McGill made a conscious business decision. And where's the payoff
I
for
was going to
him?
talk on that.
Where's the payoff for this dude to be better than MSK? You know what I mean? To show
Exactly.
that he made the right decision. We're going to
Like,
talk about people making the right business decision.
yeah,
But
yeah. Because
title.
this is a preempt to what we're going to get into later, and it's like, he did not have to stay there. He chose to stay. Trey Miguel chose to stay. Now, listen, Josh Alexander right now, who I said pound for pound is the best wrestler, he deserves to have a long run. So if later on they build Trey up and they start like a singles rivalry, I have no problem with that as long as he comes out getting the title somewhere down the line this year or in the beginning of next year. I'll give them a time frame for Trey Miguel because this is the X Division and they play hot potato with that belt anyway. So let's just wait and see. But yeah, I was saying that before they made it an Ultimate X match, which we haven't seen in a while anyway. I was just like, okay, again, these same guys. We have seen these guys in these matches every goddamn pay-per-view. Enough.
Every goddamn week too.
You did all every week, every month. Enough. You did Ultimate X. That was the ultimate payoff. Enough. Time to just work on single shit, and that's it. And there was a fuck up here because the match is not if you get the belt, the match is over. You got to get the belt and land. And I think they rung the bell a little bit early before he could jump down. But the match was going. It was obvious Alexander was going to retain. He just never jumped down, and they didn't ring the bell yet. They rung the bell before he jumped down.
I think Alexander was scared of heights, man. He didn't want to get injured.
Yeah, you can tell he was being very careful.
He was very careful. I mean, you can see Trey McGill had no fear. Ace Austin, no fear. Chris Bay, no fear. Rohit Raju, no fear. But Josh Alexander's like, look, I'm a ground and pound wrestler, man. I can't do this shit.
Pretty much. So next, we have Brian Myers with Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K up against Matt Cardona and a mystery a mystery partner. And all week, not all week, but the go home show, Scott D'Amore kept saying, it's going to be a hot mess. It's going to be some hardcore country. Dropping hints in there about who's going to show up. The minute he said it's going to be a hot mess, I said Chelsea Green. I realized that she was injured, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not going to be her. But lo and behold, it was Chelsea Green. So the fun part about this match, in general, Matt Cardona was freaking in a match with two chicks that he banged. One he's married to, one he used to fuck with, and that was pretty funny. They played that, that she was his ex girl and whatever, and like on Impact on Thursday, she attempted the low blow, but this time he was prepared. He had the cup, and Chelsea delivers a low blow to Neil Dashwood, which I what the fuck? Are they trying to tell us something about Neil Dashwood? Is Tennille really Tanae? Is Tennille really Tom? Like, what the fuck? Like, was she on her period there? Like, I don't get the woman's low blow, but she had the cast on, so you could take that into account. Cast was part of it. It's part of the match. It's not really illegal. It's old school. What's his name?
Bob Orton.
There you go. Bob Orton style. You got the Bob Orton finish. Let them know, Q. Thoughts?
Well, for all the hardcore fans, Matt Cardona was the ultimate winner. To have his fiance or wife fighting against his ex-girlfriend, Brian Myers was just an afterthought. He was just there, this should have been a triple threat, and Matt Cardona would have been smiling ear to ear, like, I had this. This was my match.
The triple threat went on after the match.
You know what? I call this a special attraction match. This is, if you're heavy on Twitter, heavy on social media, heavy on Instagram and all that stuff, this match meant something. For Impact purposes, get Matt Cardona over. Let's see what he's gonna do. But I don't know where Matt Cardona is gonna be because he wants to do that Cody Rhodes traveling. Maybe he's gonna go to Ring of Honor. Maybe he's gonna go to New Japan when the travel restrictions are a little bit less. But I think it's, to me, a throwaway match, and that's not trying to say it was a bad match. It's just a throwaway that I don't care. I think Brian Myers is going to be there for the long haul. Matt Cardona, by night.
I get what you're saying because Cardona is not fully committed to Impact, and we don't really know the status of Green. There was a few people saying, "Oh, I thought she was going to AEW." Calm down. First of all, I'll just say personally,
Ring of Honor tournament.
Oh, okay. So she's floating.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll say this: AEW doesn't really need her right now. The division is picking up on its own. She doesn't really add anything to make people say, "Ooh, I got to see her." Impact fans may tune in, but those people who are watching WWE barely fucking remember that bitch. She came out kind of half and half. Had the hot mess, gimmick on one half of her face and normal side on the other. I thought that was cool. So, the match for what it was, I had no problem with it, especially, with the whole angle of his ex and his current wife, ex-girlfriend, current wife. Then we have the match where, even though I am a big fan of the guy, I went out on a beer run. It was Eddie Edwards versus W. Morrissey. I only came back to see a devastating powerbomb that Morrissey gave to Eddie Edwards. Morrison won. So, Q, you saw the match. Morrissey won. You saw the match, Q. Let him know.
You know what? The match was billed as Morrissey against the heartbeat of Impact Wrestling. And when you get that kind of title, as Eddie Edwards has earned that means something to the professor. That means something because, this man is well respected backstage. When you put that title heartbeat, that means something. Like Tommy Dreamer was the heartbeat of ECW. So There's a lot of respect. This man is a locker room leader. And this match didn't matter anything. It's not going to affect Eddie Edwards' win-loss record. He did what he was supposed to do. He put William Morrissey over. I got no problem with that. Again, is William Morrissey going to be there for the long haul? I hope so. He looks good. This is his best run out of I can remember. This is better than Big Cass when he was, on his own. So by a long shot, this was a decent match. And Eddie Edwards carried William Morrissey to have a great match. So, he made him look dominant. He made him look dominant, but it was good.
There's a lot of people when I looked on the thread when I was going to the store, somebody made a comment, they laughed at the fact that they were calling Eddie Edwards the heart and soul of TNA. Of Impact, because Eddie Edwards, his personality is bland. He doesn't have the best charisma. He's one of those guys where his work speaks for himself, in my opinion. I don't really give a shit if Eddie could talk or not because I've never seen a bad match from Eddie. I've followed Eddie since he was in the Wolves. You know, I would love to see an American Wolves reunion somewhere down the line, especially since Davey is back. He's in MLW doing his thing. We'll see. But yeah, I don't mind them giving him that title. You know, that tag, the heart and soul of Impact. He's earned that, like you said, locker room leader, not a bad guy, not soured, didn't blame Sammy Callahan for damn near breaking his face open. Holds no grudges, which is awesome. You want that in a guy like Eddie Edwards. So yeah, props to him and props to Morris.
That's the most prestigious title in Impact Wrestling, more than the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah. And so we get Madman Fulton and Mahalabali Shera, but this time he's not, he ain't doing that no more. He's a big, mean, tough guy. He's Tiger Singh, And Madman Fulton, who to this day, I will say, still belongs in Decay. They should have put him in Decay, and I want to see him in Decay. I don't know if he should be the leader or what, but he needs something better than being with Ace Austin. But anyway, these two came out after being barred from ringside during that Ultimate X match, complaining they were left off the show. They wanted to hijack the ring, this, that, and third. Scott D'Amore comes out, says, you're not going to hijack my ring, or this, that, and third. I don't like that. He introduced just some guys who were going to clear the ring. Those guys, Finn Juice. Finn Juice is back. Have no problem with Finn Juice. Had no problem with them giving Finn Juice the Impact Tag Team Championship. Impact has a lot of ass-kissing to do to New Japan for what they did to Okada, even though it was not the same Impact. They still have some ass-kissing to do. I'm sorry. So no problem with Finn Juice coming in. No problem with Finn Juice making quick work of two big men who aren't really that good in the first place. Thoughts, Q?
I thought we were going to have Mahalabali Shera against Bolton as a one-on-one. And my first thought before Finn Juice came out is like, okay, everything you said was like, okay, they had a pre-show. This was what you wanted to replace the pre-show with? I was like, that's a disrespect to the two girls. I was like, yeah, Fire and Flavor. How you disrespect Fire and Flavor when they've been like your MVPs on Impact Wrestling every Thursday? That's just my humble opinion.
I didn't even like them when they first came together because I'm like, this is awful. But they grew on me. They really came together as a tag team, and even though they lost their titles, I think they're going to get them shits back eventually. But go ahead.
And Finn Juice, that's your territory, Track. I'll give that to you with Finn Juice. I'm not sold on Finn Juice. I'm not impressed with Finn Juice. I mean, if you wanted to, break the, well, I'll talk about it later. But Finn Juice doesn't do anything for me. I don't care if they were Impact Tag Team Champions. Just like Tama Tonga said, you got the third best tag team in New Japan is running Rush Shot. That's the way I look at it. Tama Tonga just ruined Juice for me.
Yeah, I can see that. But they played their roles for what it was. It was, that was actually something that should have been the beer run.
Nice to come in and do something like that. Don't do something.
Hey, he might be an opponent for Josh Alexander somewhere down the line. So let's not count that out. So next,
main event, A-Track's main event.
Hey, listen. The fact that the match was put together had me like, what the fuck? Okay.
Can I say one thing, Track, before you talk about this match?
Yeah, go ahead.
We had conversations, I think. We had texts. We had debates on the PWHustle Facebook fan page. And before this match even took place, y'all were clowning the professor when I kept saying things after the fact that this man lost to Swan with the title for title. This man lost to Omega. Man, had no reason to be in Impact Wrestling. And I said, go to AEW. Go to NXT where he's going to be loved and appreciated and have that steam. I'm sorry, guys. For all you Moose lovers out there, I hope there's a storyline here. I hope there's some long-term storytelling that you're going to try to, get me invested on. Maybe Bound for Glory that he gets redemption. But from what I've seen for the last 4 months out of Moose, his biggest win was against EC3. And after that, doing the things he did with the Impact title, then losing. I'm sorry, he's just lost in the shuffle. You know what? If he got the money, God bless him. He's a businessman. I'm a businessman too, Track. I go where the money is. But you know what? Take a pay cut. Take a pay cut and see where your talents can be elevated. Take a pay cut and let's see if you're bigger. You know, big fish in a small pond is what Moose is in Impact Wrestling. Well, I thought he was. But now he's a guppy in fucking Impact Wrestling. He needs to fucking go somewhere else. Go ahead, Track. Talk about the match and whatever.
Okay. So, going in, I didn't even like the fact that they paired these two up. I said to myself, all right, he re-signed. He fought Omega. We had the Omega match, the Omega Moose match, because his contract was running up. They wanted to have that match. I don't blame them. You weren't sure if Moose was going to freaking re-sign. So Omega went over. Understandable. Moose, before losing to Omega, was not even having a great win streak anyway. What the fuck was that shit? Listen. I have fought tooth and nail with the fucking professor over this shit. I have defended Impact Wrestling when it came to Moose and the booking of Moose to the point where I was screaming out, I can't be beaten in these mean streets. Impact Wrestling, you made me out to be a liar. You made me out to be a fucking liar. And you got me defeated in these fucking mean streets. You don't understand what the fuck you did tonight by having Moose, the motherfucker who has been performing his goddamn ass off. He performed his ass off for you people. Shooting star presses, kip-ups, losing the fucking gut he had. Motherfucking, what are you, the Spanish flies. A 6'7", 6'6" nigga doing Spanish flies, moonsaults from the fucking ropes, holding this motherfucker in his arms. And you had him fucking lose to a goddamn roll-up! Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it, this fucking company. What the fuck did that man resign for? Why? Somebody explain to me in the comment section what the fuck was the purpose of him resigning if he was just gonna fucking lose at Slammiversary to punk ass Sabin? Billy Ray hates that nigga. The Masked Man hates that nigga. And after tonight, I can't stand Chris Sabin. Fuck him. And fuck whoever booked that fucking loss for Moose. That was bullshit and you know it. Sean Ross Sapp, I don't give a flying fuck, even though I posted it myself. I don't give a flying fuck about fucking Nick Aldis's 1,000 run as NWA champion. Moose lost to Chris Sabin clean in a fucking roll-up. No words. Michael Davis, 8-Track Black. Talk to me, bro. Top the Great. Talk to me, bro. Big Ray. Talk to me, bro. One of y'all niggas in the Impact Attack. Is that still around? Is that still a thing? Get at me. Impact Lounge. Get at me. Miguel Contreras. Impact's #1 fan who won the fucking contest tonight. Had the man on screen. Had the man on TV. Explain that shit to me, bro. You can't. You won't. You couldn't. Silent Monster? JD from New York? Anybody? Joe Cronin?
I don't watch.
Kevin Castle?
He doesn't watch.
Jim Cornette?
He won't watch.
Is there anybody that can explain this shit to me? You can't. You know what you can do? LOL TNA. That's it. That's it. You Impact marks, you can hit that comment section all you fucking want. It is bullshit. I want Moose out of there. I want him gone. NXT, WWE, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Dark, MLW, Noah, All Japan, New Japan, fucking Africa Wrestling Power Uchi. I don't give a fuck as long as he's not here anymore. What are you doing? Listen. It took me out of the pay-per-view, bro. It took me out of the pay-per-view. And it was the ending that gave me life support.
You know, I can't say anything that you just said here. I mean, there's no explanation. There's no rhyme or reason because of what you're doing. If you're trying to tell a long-term story with him and some kind of redemption for Bound for Glory, because now he's resigned and now maybe you can make the plans that you had originally for Moose in 2021, then fine.
What plans was that? After that motherfucker, Moose came out looking like a pharaoh, a true African god. Moose came out like Moose Hotep. Did you see the gear he had on? Tripped in platinum and gold. Looking like $1 million fucking bucks.
Like
to lose this honky? Yeah, that's right. I said honky. I'm on my George Jefferson shit right now. Nah, man. Nah. Hell fucking no. It made no sense. It wasn't a promotion. It wasn't a compliment. Fuck your stories and fuck your angles. That shit was fucking ridiculous. You know it. I know it. Your mother knows it. The CIA monitoring this shit knows it. And so do the American people. And all 69,000 people who watch Impact Wrestling.
Damn sure. Preach.
I had my daughters, man. My daughters, bro. Sitting down. Watching this shit. Saying, how could the big black guy lose to the little white boy? How do you explain that to your kids?
Rocky 3.
In the flesh, baby.
It just happens sometimes. Miracles do happen, Track. You gotta believe. I
watched this man lose to Rick Swann. I made excuses. I watched this man lose to Kenny Omega. I made excuses. I watched this man get into a mini feud for Slammiversary to have a match up against Chris Sabin. I made excuses. He fucking lost. I have no excuses. I have none.
You know what? A wrestler's career is a marathon, Track, not a sprint. So, again, there's something for Moose down the line, and all this pent-up rage and anger that you so deserve to have. And don't get me wrong, you do deserve it. But, I'll say this, Chris Sabin, former Impact champion, so, you can't believe a win from a former Impact champion. But hey, neither here nor there. There's something for Moose later on.
Professor, when I was having a discussion with Top the Great, our good friend, shout outs to Top the Great, Chris Epps, what's going on, brother? When I had this conversation with Top the Great, he said, Moose going toe to toe with Sabin. I'm like, bro, I just watched Ricky Starks go toe to toe with Cage. And when I saw that roll up, they made a fucking complete fool out of me, bro. They made a complete fool. They fooled me, Jerry.
Sometimes they overthink things, and it ain't believable. Track, I think we got to move on. Just for your stuff, your sanity.
I don't want to my building. I don't want to get a heart attack. I don't want to waste my high. So we're moving on.
Whew.
Okay. So this next match for the Impact Tag Team titles, which I tell you, after Sabin beating Moose, I didn't care. All right. So you had Willie Mack, Rick Swann, the Good Brothers, Violent by Designs, Rhino and Joe Doring, and Falaba without TJP for some explanation, who was not on the card tonight. Don't know what happened, don't know why, but it wasn't on the card. Falaba comes out, cuts a promo about his partner and says, "No, no, no," but then says, "No, no, no, way Jose." And here comes the motherfucking Dominican coon. Here comes No Way Jose. And it's conga line too. Now, did I pop for that? Nope. I went just like this.
Lying. He lying. I think
I didn't pop. Let me tell you something. Even if Moose won, I wouldn't have popped for that. I wasn't even a No Way Jose fan. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? But the only thing I said was, well, they can't do any worse. He can't do any worse. The man needs a job. It's going to be very funny. I will say this. The backstage segments with No Way Jose will be entertaining, especially when he comes to the Swinger Palace, Daddy.
Can't call him No Way Jose. It's trademarked. They just call him No Way.
They could say No Way Jose is not trademarked. There's no way Jose can be trademarked.
They even introduced him as No Way.
Oh, so what's this No Way? I listen. I told you I was out of it after that Moose loss, so I don't know what they called him. I just heard Falaba say No Way Jose, and he came out.
Did they call him No Way Raphael or something? I don't know. No Way Gonzalez. Because if you just say No Way, I don't know.
They can say No Way. They can say Jose No Way. I guess. Who fucking cares? No one gives a shit about this fucking Ezekiel Jackson looking motherfucker. They do not give a shit about him. I don't care, and you don't care. Am I happy that the man has a place to work? Yes. He didn't give up on wrestling. That's good. I like the fact that you have people who leave the WWE and keep wrestling, because that shows you their dream wasn't really to be in the WWE. They just loved wrestling. Juice Robinson, formerly T.J. Parker, found himself a home in New Japan, and he's much better off for it. And he has a much bigger following now than he did in NXT, you know? So, for the most part, I guarantee you, even though it's Impact and people laugh, there will be some segments with No Way Jose backstage that I bet you for a fact I will find way more funnier than what they do in WWE, because people don't realize this. A company like Impact, when they do their segments, their comedy shit, you see that they don't take themselves seriously. The WWE actually does. AEW, to their credit, they do. But their shit is funny. Impact does not take themselves seriously when they do comedy segments. So it's booked to look stupid and funny. And it's so stupid that it is. So I'm expecting to get some chuckles from No Way Jose. That's what he adds to Impact Wrestling. If there's anybody who can say what does he add, that's what he adds. He adds a little bit more entertainment for their backstage segments.
I can't wait for No Way Jose and Hernandez to team up. Then Hernandez.
The Hernandez is going to end up joining the conga line. I'm surprised they didn't have him out there in the mask tonight as an extra. But anyway, the Good Brothers won the tag team titles, which told me a lot about the main event. I don't know about anybody else, but when I saw them win, I automatically knew what was going to happen with the main event. At least the outcome. I didn't know what was going to, how it was going to go down, but I knew who was winning. And then we have what was up until the main event, the best match of the night. And that was Deonna Perrazzo versus her mystery partner. And this is where I actually came back to life. Thunder fucking Rosa was there tonight. And listen, I don't give a fuck. It's not about AEW. It's not about AAA. It's about Thunder Rosa in general. The woman can fucking go. Deonna Perrazzo, if you think she's not a good wrestler, if you don't think she has the charisma, if you don't think she has the personality, you're a fucking hater, or you just don't know shit. Because this woman right now is on her Gail Kim shit with what she's doing in that ring and how she's carrying that title and how she's carrying herself, quite frankly. This match was fucking off the fucking hook. Q, your thoughts, man?
Well, let me just say that I seen the growth of Deonna Perrazzo, and I rewarded Deonna Perrazzo, if you remember, track on PWHustle Facebook fan page, as the 2020 Career Renaissance Professor's Perspective Award winner. So I knew what I was talking about, and this was not shilling because I saw what they were doing with her. And the only thing I said that Impact fucked up with, but when they made her lose that title once, she didn't need to be a 2-time champion. She could have been a 1-time champion and be dominant as she is. But that's neither here nor there. That's just me nitpicking. But what I do like is, as much as I hate the Impact men's division when it comes to the world title picture, at least there's respect that Impact Wrestling's women's division and the women's title, the Knockouts title, that's a gold standard. And Deonna Perrazzo is the standard bearer. She's the bar in women's wrestling outside NXT. You come to her house, it's gonna be a dogfight. It ain't gonna be easy. And 2, you shouldn't beat her. She's the best women's wrestler outside of anything. And I'm happy that she won the match. I didn't want to see Thunder Rosa win. I didn't want to see anything like that. I just saw this as tit for tat. We talked about this. I think we talked about this on an Impact before when I was like pissed off about Kenny Omega beating Swan, and I said Impact is dead. And I said you better do something with your Impact women's. She better be the belt collector. She better get that AAA title. Did they do Triple Mania yet or no?
No, not yet.
She better get that title. She better get the AEW women's title. If you're gonna do tit for tat, let her be the dominant belt collector.
Well, hold on. Hold on. And this is what I have a problem with. There is going to be a Britt Baker versus Deonna Perrazzo match. Who wins that match? I don't know. That's going to have to be a no contest. You can't have right now. You can't have Britt Baker lose. You damn sure can't have Perrazzo lose. So
tit for tat. You're trouncing on the men's division of Impact. You better trounce on that women's division of AEW.
I don't see it. Listen, I don't see AEW doing it, and they shouldn't be doing. I mean, let's be real. Would you really want Perrazzo to take the title off of Britt Baker, or vice versa? No, you can't. That cancels shit. Those two cancel each other out. Unfortunately, that match can't happen unless these women are going. Unless the only way that match happens is next summer. They can't lose their titles. Next summer they can't lose their titles, and if it was to happen next summer, this is just wishful thinking. If it was to happen next summer, or let's say early winter, Perrazzo gets the title, and Britt Baker can take it back maybe a month later. But right now, you just can't. You just can't. It's unfortunately, unless you book this as a no contest, you can't have that match. You don't want to see either one lose. I know I don't.
I don't either. I agree with you.
For reasons that you explained about Impact, Perrazzo can't lose. For reasons I've explained about Britt Baker being hot right now, she can't lose. I'm sorry, this is just an impasse. You can't have this match and not have it end with a fuck finish or some type of schmaz or no contest. You would have to have women from each company come in and cost them the match. It would be something that people would shit on, but I think wholeheartedly everyone will understand why there really couldn't be a clear winner here, and that's not a bad thing. There doesn't really have to be a winner in these type of matches. You can't have a no contest or a double DQ or a count out or a double count out, and book it again down the line and let them have no contact with each other until you do it again. But like I said, for reasons that me and Q just explained, you can't really have these two fight unless there's a no contest. But I do want to see it. Perrazzo right now, Yes, she needs to. I'm not, but I'm with you. You know, if it's not that, work something out with NWA, ROH, AAA. Let her get some titles. You know, Impact. You know, we say the 69,000, but we know overall there's still more eyes on Impact than MLW and ROH.
Mhm.
So
I ain't front on that. We can laugh about the numbers like that, but that's why I just said you need the consolation for you doing what you're doing with the men's division. And I'll say, and I keep laughing about how Impact is dead on that end. Make your women's division as monster as it can be, and Deonna Perrazzo is a great standard bearer for that.
yeah, man, and this match to me was not. It wasn't 5 star. It was 4.5. You know, Thunder Rosa was on point. You know, with her fucking drop kicks and what Thunder Rosa does, especially when she gets outside that ring, she just gets fucking brutal. Fucking Deonna Perrazzo with her mat wrestling and ultimately winning the match. You know, with the arm bar, with what she does. It was so. You know, if you're watching this match, you're like, holy shit, and like me, you're starting to calm down a little bit from what you saw. And I'll just say this. Honestly, it's a mark of a good pay-per-view if it gets you so mad and then it's just like those 1 or 2 spots that kind of bring you back, you know.
Roller coaster. Roller coaster.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exact. Thank you, Q. Exactly. I know a lot of people would still be pissed, and I'll give my final overall grade on the pay-per-view, but I just want to say that feeling is good when you get so mad, but then towards the end of the show, something happens when you're like, okay, okay, I'm still pissed, but okay. So this match, the appearance, it was that. I was still pissed. I was still, biting the lip and shaking my head, telling the kids to go to bed, So you have the main event and a hardcore, no DQ, Sami Callihan versus the god of professional wrestling, Kenny Omega, in a straight up fucking brawl, in a brutal of a fucking match of Sami Callihan's caliber. Trying to say that 3 times fast. Sami Callihan's caliber. That is his type of match, which is a match that, of course, Kenny Omega can also fuck with. These motherfuckers went in, and when they went in, they went in. I'm talking about Abdullah the Butcher style forks to the head. I'm talking about thumbtacks. I'm talking about fucking double stomps on fucking tables. I'm talking about barbed wire wrap chairs. Sammy was clearly the favorite. This is an Impact pay-per-view. It had Impact fans, limited fans because of COVID, but it still had fans, which was just great in general.
This was my roller coaster track, and it went down for me.
Nah, listen. It listen, I didn't want Sammy to beat Kenny Omega.
Can I just say this before we talk about the match a little bit more in detail? The last 2 matches were very predictable, and the commercial for Bound for Glory made the last 2 matches super predictable. When they did the Bound for Glory promos, and then you saw the AAA, AEW moniker, and of course, like you said, Good Brothers winning the tag titles. I was like, you really, like, you talk about the roller coaster? I went downhill from there, and I'm pissed. I'm like, oh, God.
The brothers won. I knew Omega was not losing. I thought he was, but when they won those tag titles, I'm like, they're not going to give them the tag titles and have him lose it just not it doesn't make sense. And they, even though you may not like a story angle, Impact really does try to do consistent shit as of the past few years. So it made sense for him not to lose. But the match was still fucking off the fucking hook with everything that they did. And everything that Sammy put into it. And I like Sammy. To me, Sammy is damn near almost a complete wrestler in a character that you want. The only thing that he doesn't really have is the height. The man can talk, he can wrestle, he can technical wrestle if he wanted to, he can catch his catch can if he wanted to, he could brawl if he wanted to. He really is that dude, in my opinion. He just doesn't have the height. There's a lot of people that don't feel Sami Callihan. I don't understand that shit. It's like this is exactly the type of thing that you want. Comes off a little bit like Rhino sometimes, but overall, I dig Sami. And Kenny Omega, was taking some punishment as well, but he was also giving it. And it was kind of silly with the V trigger, what he did with the putting the tacks in the knee pad, because it's like, dude, you're gonna kind of hurt yourself too. There's not really gonna be any tacks that's gonna do it. But then I said, no, that can happen. If I stick a thumbtack into my hand and it doesn't hurt because I did it so many times, and I mush the shit out of you, that end of the thumbtack might break and just might actually end up in your fucking head. So it actually does make sense personally, because a motherfucker like me has stuck tacks into it because I'm a stupid idiot. But it made sense. And Kenny Omega hits the V trigger, which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of said kick out Sami so he could be the first person to kick out, but we all know they're saving that for Adam Page. He doesn't kick out. Kenny Omega retains. Good Brothers come in. Callis comes in. They're gonna two sweet each other, and the fucking lights go out. See the Bullet Club sign. First person I said was, okay, El Fantasma. Who the fuck else is gonna come out? He's the only motherfucker that's been working. But then the graphic changes, and you see fucking King Switch. Jay fucking White comes out. I forgot that Moose even lost. For a good 30 seconds, I forgot Moose even lost. I was shocked as shit. Tried to get the reaction up, but Impact keeps blocking it. So maybe down the line I can get it up. Maybe you'll look at it on PWHustle Facebook group if you join the Facebook group. But I was shocked as shit. And he goes in the ring. I don't know what he does. Somebody comes out, and then the feed cuts off. I don't know if that was planned or not. Q, give us your thoughts. Let us know what happened after from what you've uncovered so we can get the fudge out of here.
The feed went off. I went on Twitter, and people who were at the show tweeted out that Finn Juice came out. You kind of spoiled the supposed super elite celebration because nobody touched hands with each other. Everybody was just looking, and they were trying to do the two sweets. Well, of course, the Good Brothers was trying to do the two sweets, but King Switch was not having that. He kept looking, but that's all I knew from there. But okay. Here's where my roller coaster ends. Here, I'm gonna get into my moose mode here. Like, okay. I love Track everything you just said as a fan, and I know how much of a big New Japan fan you are. I know that this storyline you've been waiting for years because of the evolution of Jay White. So my professor perspective on this is just one word. Oh no, two words actually. So what? It's on the wrong fucking organization. This thing that you wanted, this thing that everybody wants, every hardcore fan wants, is in the wrong goddamn organization. This needed to happen on Dynamite. And yes, I understand that they're building up Adam Page and Kenny Omega, Hustle Life. I get that. I understand that. And they want to do something for Impact. They're throwing Impact is throwing the bone out there. Come on over. We love all y'all. We love all your organizations. Please, we need this. We need the rub. I just think, to me, it's just, and I'm going to go into this mode here. And this is why I'm more pissed about Impact Wrestling with this Forbidden Door, especially on their end. They're not, no men's division in Impact Wrestling matters. Any match. You could have Eddie Edwards against Moose. It don't matter. You could have Sami Callihan against William Morrissey. Don't matter. You could have Willie Mack against Trey Miguel. Don't matter. Jake something. Don't matter. All your guys who are contracted Impact wrestlers are in the back burner because your hottest angle is a New Japan guy and Jay White and an AEW guy. who's holding your Impact belt, making you look like bitches. The way you feel about Moose is the way I feel about this Forbidden Door bullshit. It's not helping Impact's rep. I'm sorry. I understand the wow factor. Don't get me wrong. I was like, oh shit, okay, Jay White. But I'm looking at the obvious. I'm like, okay, you really don't care about your guys in Impact Wrestling. You don't, because nobody, answer me this. Who in Impact Wrestling is going to get that, who deserves that shot? Number one. And number two, who deserves to beat Kenny Omega after Adam Page kicks out of the V trigger, which we all know is going to happen?
All right. Well, here's the thing. The prediction I made about, Sammy losing here, and I thought that it was going to be because of Moose. I thought Moose was going to come out and cost Sammy the title and just beat the shit out of both of them, and Omega would just, do this. I still think at Bound for Glory, we're going to have a triple threat match, and here's why. And well, first, here's who's going to be involved. Of course, Kenny Omega, Sami Callihan, and Moose.
Okay.
I think it's still possible Moose gets this title, because what better way to have Kenny Omega lose the belt than not have Kenny Omega lose at all? AEW may not want their champion pinned before is All Out before Bound for Glory?
All Out's in September.
Okay, so it's before Bound for Glory. I still don't see AEW allowing their guy to be pinned by an Impact guy. And I think Impact is just so lucky to work with AEW. They'll say, yeah, fine, we'll have a triple threat match. This person will pin that person. Kenny loses, but he doesn't get pinned. So that's what I think might happen. That is cheap as fuck.
I was about to say that. I don't want to. You read?
It's cheap. It's cheap as fuck. Let me tell you something, bro. After what they did to Moose tonight, I'm not arguing against what you're saying right now. I'm not agreeing with it, but I'm not even going to argue with it. I'm going to let you say what you have to say. Like, I'm just saying what I have to say. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going to happen. Where this Jay White thing ties into, not too sure yet. But if Kenny Omega is this belt collector guy right now, who's to say that Kenny Omega doesn't have a match with Jay White for that never openweight title and beats him for it? Don't know if it happens in Impact. It could happen in Impact because of the travel restrictions that are going on. That's why Jay White hasn't been around in New Japan like that, because of the COVID shit. And COVID in Japan is still out of control, I'm not too full on the details, though. So there's a lot of things that's going to happen here. Your final thoughts, Q? Let them know where to find you so we can get the fuck out of here.
Well, for all the hustlites, go on the link before below this and check out the PWR Reflection podcast, which I did with Tommy Wonder. We talked about USWA from 1996, and we talk about the career of this upstart named Flex Cavana. Who's Flex Cavana? Well, find out. Watch the goddamn PWR Reflection podcast.
And let me tell you, this is actually one of my favorites right now. So go ahead.
And if you want me to grade this, well, with the roller coaster, I'll take something out of this roller coaster, because you're right. It's ebbs and flows, ups and downs. So for that, I'm gonna give it A-. Because even though I don't like what I saw in the main event and everything I said, I'm not gonna take it back. I'm gonna give it A- because of what it did for the community.
Wow. Okay. My score is a B- because of what they did to fucking Moose. The Thunder Rosa. That's what hey, delegation for the culture. We got to figure that shit out. Malik Shabazz, let me know. But, Thunder Rosa, Jay White got me back into it. Can't even lie. My reaction is on Facebook for people to see. So they got a B- from me. Let them know where they can find you, Q.
Twitter at PWHustle PROF. That's PWHustle Prof. And also the PWHustle Networks at podbean.com for the PWR podcast.
And you can find me here, YouTube, at PWHustle Presents, because I gave it a title. PWHustle Presents 420 Reactions. Now, I'm giving that the props to one of our faithful subscribers, Christina Lee. She said 420 Reactions, so I took that, and that's what I did. The show is now called 420 PWHustle Presents 420 Reactions, where I react to shit. Gonna do the Bad Batch. Don't worry if for all 100 people who are like, where's the Bad Batch reaction? It's coming soon. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at 8Track Dastardly, the number 8 TRAC Dastardly. Don't forget, sign up to that PWHustle Facebook group. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that fucking notification button, and shout outs. Michael Davis, 8Track Black, Big Ray, Stephen Pena, Christopher Epps, Jeff Lippman, Derek Rose, Derek McDonald, all the people on the hustle list, Jamal Snow, the man with no throne, and the man who's always right because he's never wrong, Mr. Wright, Michael Wright. Get well. I hope you're staying strong, brother. Shout outs to all of y'all. Shout outs to all the hustleites who follow us. Thank you very much. Yo, Q, we out this motherfucker?
Definitely. It's too sweet.
Sweet. We too sweet in each other. There you go. We out.